Hey guys, thanks for joining me for Wow Me Wednesday. I'm continuing my series on how to rock your next job interview. And I'm going to dive deeper in two questions that were presented to me by a couple of my viewers. So thanks to Sheila for asking about how do you make decisions? And thanks to Katherine for asking about a very common question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So I'll tackle those tonight. The first one, a question that Sheila has gotten in a past interview is, how do you make a decision? So this is your employer, well, hopefully your future employer's way of assessing your critical thinking skills and to see how you act, your comfort level under pressure. And it's important for you to consider the balance between a good, thoughtful decision and a quick decision. So in your answer, you could talk about how you would gather the information and facts first, and that could include talking with your colleagues to assess the situation. But you'd also want to talk about how you would consider the time frame. How much time? What's your deadline to make this decision? You also could talk about how you would weigh out the pros and cons and think about the consequences of your decision either way. What's the worst case scenario? You could also talk about how you would question the status quo. Oftentimes, the easy answer is, well, this is how we've always done it, so this is how we should do it. But is that the best answer, the best decision for this moment in time? So you could question that. And really important to include is an example. So think back to an example where you've had to make a tough decision in your workplace. If you speak too generally and in scenarios, then your employer, conceptually, if you speak too conceptually, that'll give the employer the impression that you really haven't been in that kind of situation and that you may not know how to make that decision when push comes to shove in real life. So the second question, very common, is where do you see yourself in 5 years? So thank you, Katherine, for asking that. And this is the employer's way of finding out how serious you are about the industry and the company. And also to assess whether you are looking for growth. You want to keep your answer relevant to the job and the industry, and ideally the company that you're interviewing for. And as I mentioned, you want to talk about how you're open to growth and learning from challenges. So an answer that you could give, and this is very generally speaking, is I hope to be at a company that provides me a lot of growth opportunities and challenges so that I can learn and become and possibly work my way up the ladder in the company. You could also talk about how you want to work somewhere where you can learn from the people around you. You could include a compliment about the current company and how this company, this firm, is full of innovative thinkers and has a very nurturing culture where you have seen how people are able to rise through the ranks and there's opportunities to grow, and that you would love an opportunity to be able to be part of this family, this firm. So answers like that are general enough, but also truthful. You don't want to get too specific. If you're talking about, I see myself in 5 years with a 6-figure salary and living in a mansion and managing a team of 10 people. Well, that's too narrowly focused. What if that's not the answer the employer is looking for? Chances are that's not what they're looking for. So be truthful, be general, but have an answer prepared. This is something that shouldn't stump you, so have an answer ready to go. They're not asking you specifically, where do you see yourself in November of 2022, but speak generally where you see your career headed in the industry that you're interviewing for. So I hope this was helpful for you all. If you have other questions for me, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Or if you can, feel free to email me at jessica@jessicachangconsulting.com. Thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.